Good morning, Knife Brotherhood. Monday morning inspirational talk. George Adventure here. I want to tell everybody in the Knife Brotherhood, hey, hope everybody's doing good. I want to tell everybody that's going through a hard time, we pray for you. So I wanted to talk about something, and you hear it, quite a bit in our culture. Masculinity, men, and women don't like masculine men. They want a softer man, blah blah blah, all that nonsense. And and I don't buy it, because my wife, she don't want a man like that. My daughter don't. Most women I know, they want a man to protect them and be a man. God created us to be men. There's a reason God created us first. We're not better than women. We're equals on a lot of things, but some things we're not. We were made different. Men were made different. And I'm gonna give you an example. See that big rooster right there? He takes care of the flock. He don't play around. You can see when I walk over here what he does. He comes to the fence. He keeps them hens gathered up, his flock. He protects them. He'll spur you. Trust me, I've done got it from him. But masculinity it's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. Men, we don't have babies. We don't have babies. We can't do it. And that's the creator that made things the way they are. It's humans. It's in the natural environment. But and you hear a lot about an alpha male. And an alpha male is basically what I guess I could say what I am. And you can look up the definition of it and see what an alpha male is. And honestly, God made us to be an alpha male. He made us the warriors. He made us not to talk, but he made us to protect our families. We're the ones ultimately that are supposed to hunt and fish and gather and go to work, take care of our families. Now, women work. There's a lot of women. My wife, Miss Linda, works. Nothing wrong with that. Both of my daughters work. But both of them will tell you they don't want a weak man. They don't, they just don't want a weak man. They just don't. They don't. Most women don't want that. But the media in this country and the left have tried to change men, and we see it. We see it now. We see them trying to change a boy. We know, and I'm not trying to get political, but we see people trying to change a boy's gender to a girl. That ain't the natural way it's supposed to be. God didn't make it that way. He did not make that way. He made us for a reason. He made a man for a reason. He made a woman for a reason. He made the woman from us. He breathed life in both of us. But he made us different for a reason. And it's not hard to understand if you got half a brain. We are different. Our personalities are different. The way we think are different. But we won't exist. A man won't exist without a woman. A woman won't exist without a man. Period. That's just the way God made it. We can't exist without each other. God made made the perfect creation. Uh, you know, and I look around here and I see, you know, I see God's hand in everything. I look in the mirror in the morning and I see God. Now, I see a man that God's not always pleased with. I can tell you that. He's not always pleased with what I do. You know, I do sin. I'm a sinner. I ask for forgiveness. You have to ask for forgiveness daily because we sin. We have a sin nature. And that started in the Garden of Eden. But I'm proud. I'm proud to be an alpha male. I'm proud to be a man, you know, and you know, I came up in an industry that you can't have soft people. You have to have, you know, you have to have roughnecks doing it, you know. And nowadays, you know, we got men that are just, you know, I wonder about them sometimes. I'm like, you know, what are you trying to be? You know, what are you trying to do? And you know, it's just insanity. Our country's in a bad place, really, be honest with you. And I think everybody knows it. A lot of people just don't want to talk about it, you know. I don't mind talking about it. I could care less if somebody gets upset because I know what's at stake. You know, I want I've got 3 grandsons. I want them to grow up and be alpha males. I want them to be rough and tough where they don't cry and they don't live with their mom and daddy when they're 30 years old or whatever. Unless, you know, something happens, they have to, that's different. But I want them to have goals, you know. I want my grandboys to have goals. I want them to make it on their own. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught coming up. You work. You work in the summertime. I worked in the summertime when I was in school. When football was over or during the summer, I worked. My daddy made me go to work. Working's good, you know. And any kind of work you do is good. Men are, like I said, men are warriors. God made us to be warriors. We're not supposed to be weak, but it's okay for a man to cry. It's okay for a man to get emotional. Because I'll tell you, when I lost my mother, I cried and cried. I was there. I was there. My brother and my dad and all of us were there when she took her last breath. When she took her last breath, I watched her. I watched my mother die. I watched my mother-in-law die. You gotta be kind of tough to sit there and watch that. But it's okay if you cry and break down, you know, because, you know, that's your mom. But, you know, men and women were made different for a reason. I tell Miss Linda all the time, you're a lot smarter than I am. You know, and my wife, she's tough. She's a tough rascal. She's a tough lady, but she depends on me. She knows I'm the one that'll be out there, you know, somebody try to do something to her. I'll be the one, you know, taking care of it. You know, and that's what we're supposed to do as men. We're supposed to protect our children, our wives, our grandchildren, you know. But, you know, I'm glad God made it the way he did, because, you know, it's not, I mean, our world right now, and especially our country, it's you know, it's just some crazy stuff going on, you know. I wake up in the morning sometimes and I'm like, where did my country go? Where is my country? You know, I'm like, can I find it? Where's it at? Where did this stuff come from? You know, and I think, you know, there's a lot of factors. I think TikTok's had a bad influence on us. And when you got a grown man sitting there and he's got a thing of fries, and the only reason I know, because I have people show me these videos or send them to me, when he's sitting there eating fries and he picks a fry and he screams and makes all these weird noises, I'm like, what's that about, you know? you know, and I coming up with the power company, used to sit in on interviews when I was a supervisor, and, you know, and go out and we'd put them through a physical abilities test, and, you know, you'd see some of them come in there, and they you could tell they just had never done any kind of hard physical work. So a lot of times they didn't make it. You know, they just didn't make it because they wasn't suited for it. That's why you have the physical abilities test. You know, because you can't, you know, and I'm not trying to be any, you know, sarcastic or whatever, but you just can't hire weak people to do certain jobs. You just can't. You think the NFL hires weak people, you know, not to play pro football? No, they some silly players out there. Don't get me wrong, but you can't hire weak men. You got to hire alpha males for certain jobs. That's just the way it is. That's just the reality of it, you know. But so yeah, this is my inspirational talk for today. You know, don't be ashamed about being a man. Never be ashamed that you're a man. You know, I was made the way I was supposed to be. But men are to be humble. We are to be humble. You know, we can be soft at times with our children and our wives and our grandkids or whatever. We can be soft a certain amount. There's times we don't need to be soft. You know, so nothing wrong with being proud of who you are, being a man. A man, you know, real men take care of things, take care of their families, and, you know, there's a lot of real men that's been to war, built this country, you know. So anyway, that's my inspirational talk for Labor Day, Monday morning. Carrying this knife today. This Case ITEL Trapper. I love this thing. Carrying a Hank. Got my Hank. I've been wiping Bubba's sweat off his face at football practice with it, so I'm gonna have to put it in the washer. Carrying my bug out today. Got that going. Yes, sir. Got my bug out. Soddy. Yep, got my red Soddy that Jersey knife guy sent me. Got this. Sure do. Got that. I always got that in my pocket unless I'm just got a flimsy pair of shorts. Got my cross, my olive wood cross. Look at there. Carry that thing with me. And got me a Zippo. I've got a Timex on today. So I hope y'all have a great Labor Day. Me and Miss Linda, we're going to see a movie today. We're going to see Reagan. It's very beautiful out here this morning, man. Nice little breeze blowing. I can feel some fall in the air. I can feel some fall. I'm just walking around here. Thought I'd just do a video out here, just walking around and talking to y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. Like I said, never be ashamed of being a man. Our culture tends to want to shame us. They tend to want to shame us about being men. So don't let them shame you. You'll have nothing to be ashamed of if you're doing the right things, treating your family right, and treating your friends right. And real men can be humble. God bless you. Keep your blade sharp. Keep your head on a swivel, because we do live in a crazy time now, y'all. And just love your family. George Adventure. I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, by the way. and hit a like. God bless.